Chapter 6 to 9, Book 20, Volume 2 of Morte. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Nathan at antipodeanwriter.wordpress.com. Morte d'Arthur, Volume 2, by Sir Thomas Malory. Chapter 6. Of the counsel and advice that was taken by Sir Launcelot and his friends for to save the Queen. My lord Sir Launcelot, said Sir Bors, by mine advice ye shall take the woe with the weal, and take it in patience, and thank God of it. And sithen it is fallen as it is, I counsel you keep yourself. For an ye will yourself, there is no fellowship of knights christened that shall do you wrong. Also I will counsel you, my lord Sir Launcelot, that an my lady Queen Guinevere be in distress, insomuch as she is in pain for your sake, that ye knightly rescue her. An ye did otherwise, all the world will speak of you shame to the world's end. Insomuch as ye were taken with her, whether ye did right or wrong, it is now your part to hold with the queen, that she be not slain and put to a mischievous death. For an she so die, the shame shall be yours. Jesu defend me from shame, said Sir Launcelot, and keep and save my lady the queen from villainy and shameful death, and that she never be destroyed in my default. Wherefore, my fair lords, my kin, and my friends, said Sir Launcelot, what will ye do? Then they said all, we will do as ye will do. I put this to you, said Sir Launcelot, that if my lord Arthur by evil counsel will to morn in his heat put my lady the queen to the fire there to be brent, now I pray you counsel me what is best to do. Then they said all at once with one voice, Sir, us thinketh best that ye knightly rescue the queen, insomuch as she shall be brent it is for your sake. And it is to suppose, an ye might be handled, ye should have the same death, or a more shamefuller death. And, sir, we say all, that ye have many times rescued her from death for other men's quarrels. Us seemeth it is more your worship that ye rescue the queen from this peril, insomuch she hath it for your sake. Then Sir Launcelot stood still and said, My fair lords, wit you well I would be loath to do that thing that should dishonour you or my blood, and wit you well I would be loath that my lady the queen should die a shameful death. But an it be so that ye will counsel me to rescue her, I must do much harm or I rescue her, and peradventure I shall there destroy some of my best friends, that should much repent me, and peradventure there be some, and they could well bring it about, or disobey my lord King Arthur, they would soon come to me, the which I were loath to hurt. And if so be that I rescue her, where shall I keep her? That shall be the least care of us all, said Sir Bors. How did the noble knight Sir Tristram? By your good will. Kept not he with him La Belle Isoud near 3 year in Joyous Gard, the which was done by your Alpha device, and that same place is your own. And in likewise may ye do an ye list, and take the queen lightly away, if it so be the king will judge her to be brent. And in Joyous Gard ye may keep her long enough until the heat of the king be past, and then shall ye bring again the queen to the king with great worship, and then, peradventure, ye shall have thank for her bringing home, and love and thank, where other shall have morged. That is hard to do, said Sir Launcelot, for by Sir Tristram I may have a warning. For when by means of treaty Sir Tristram brought again La Belle Isoud unto King Mark from Joyous Gard, look what befell on the end, how shamefully that false traitor King Mark slew him as he sat harping afore his lady La Belle Isoud, with a grounden glaive. He thrust him in behind to the heart. It grieveth me, said Sir Launcelot, to speak of his death, for all the world may not find such a knight. All this is truth, said Sir Bors, but there is one thing shall courage you and us all. Ye know well King Arthur and King Mark were never like of conditions, for there was never yet man could prove King Arthur untrue of his promise. So, to make short tale, they were all consented that for better outher for worse, if so were that the king were on the morn brought to the fire, shortly they all would rescue her, and so by the advice of Sir Launcelot they put them all in an embushment in a wood as nigh Carlisle as they might, and there they abode still to wit what the king would do. Chapter 7. How Sir Mordred rode hastily to the king to tell him of the affray and death of Sir Agravaine and the other knights. Now turn we again unto Sir Mordred, that when he was escaped from the noble knight Sir Launcelot, he anon gat his horse and mounted upon him, and rode unto King Arthur, sore wounded and smitten, and all forbled. And there he told the king all how it was, and how they were all slain, save himself all only. Jesu mercy, how may this be? said the king. Took ye him in the queen's chamber? Yea, so God me help, said Sir Mordred. There we found him unarmed, and there he slew Colgrevance, and armed him in his armour. And all this he told the king from the beginning to the ending. Jesu mercy, said the king, he is a marvellous knight of prowess. Alas, me sore repenteth, said the king, that ever Sir Launcelot should be against me. Now I am sure the noble fellowship of the Round Table is broken for ever, for with him will many a noble knight hold. And now it is fallen so, said the king, that I may not with my worship, but the queen must suffer the death. So then there was made great ordinance in this heat that the queen must be judged to the death. And the law was such in those days that whomsoever they were, of what estate or degree, if they were found guilty of treason, there should be none other remedy but death, and either the men or the taking with the deed should be causer of their hasty judgment. And right so was it ordained for Queen Guinevere, because Sir Mordred was escaped sore wounded, and the death of 13 knights of the Round Table. These proofs and experiences caused King Arthur to command the queen to the fire there to be brent. Then spake Sir Gawaine and said, My lord Arthur, I would counsel you not to be over hasty, but that ye would put it in respite, this judgment of my lady the queen, for many causes. One it is, though it were so that Sir Launcelot were found in the queen's chamber, yet it might be so that he came thither for none evil. For ye know, my lord, said Sir Gawaine, that the queen is much beholden unto Sir Launcelot, more than unto any other knight, for oft times he hath saved her life and done battle for her, when all the court refused the queen, and peradventure she sent for him for goodness and for none evil, to reward him for his good deeds that he had done to her in times past. And peradventure my lady, the queen, sent for him to that intent, that Sir Launcelot should come to her good grace privily and secretly, weening to her that it was best so to do, in eschewing and dreading of slander. For oft times we do many things that we ween it be for the best, and yet peradventure it turneth to the worst. For I dare say, said Sir Gawaine, my lady, your queen, is to you both good and true. And as for Sir Launcelot, said Sir Gawaine, I dare say he will make it good upon any knight living that will put upon himself villainy or shame, and in likewise he will make good for my lady Dame Guinevere. That I believe well, said King Arthur, but I will not that way with Sir Launcelot, for he trusteth so much upon his hands and his might, that he doubteth no man, and therefore for my queen he shall never fight more, for she shall have the law. And if I may get Sir Launcelot, wit you well, he shall have a shameful death. Jesu defend, said Sir Gawaine, that I may never see it. Why say ye so? Said King Arthur. Forsooth, ye have no cause to love Sir Launcelot, for this night last past he slew your brother, Sir Agravaine, a full good knight, and almost he had slain your other brother, Sir Mordred, and also there he slew 13 noble knights. And also, Sir Gawaine, remember you, he slew 2 sons of yours, Sir Florence and Sir Lovel. My lord, said Sir Gawaine, of all this I have knowledge, of whose deaths I repent me sore. But insomuch I gave them warning, and told my brethren and my sons aforehand what would fall in the end, insomuch they would not do by my counsel, I will not meddle me thereof, nor revenge me nothing of their deaths. For I told them it was no boot to strive with Sir Launcelot. Howbeit, I am sorry of the death of my brethren and of my sons, for they are the causes of their own death. For oft times I warned my brother Sir Agravaine, and I told him the perils the which be now fallen. Chapter 8. How Sir Launcelot and his kinsmen rescued the queen from the fire, and how he slew many knights. Then said the noble King Arthur to Sir Gawaine, Dear nephew, I pray you make you ready in your best armour with your brethren, Sir Gaheris and Sir Gareth, to bring my queen to the fire, there to have her judgment and receive the death. Nay, my most noble lord, said Sir Gawaine, that will I never do, for wit you well I will never be in that place where so noble a queen as is my lady Dame Guinevere shall take a shameful end. For wit you well, said Sir Gawaine, my heart will never serve me to see her die, and it shall never be said that ever I was of your counsel of her death. Then said the king to Sir Gawaine, Suffer your brothers Sir Gaheris and Sir Gareth to be there. My lord, said Sir Gawaine, wit you well that they will be loath to be there present, because of many adventures the which be like there to fall. But they are young and full unable to say you nay. Then spake Sir Gaheris and the good knight Sir Gareth unto Sir Arthur, Sir, ye may well command us to be there, but wit you well it shall be sore against our will. But an we be there by your straight commandment, ye shall plainly hold us there excused. We will be there in peaceable wise, and bear none harness of war upon us. In the name of God, said the king, then make you ready, for she shall soon have her judgment anon. Alas, said Sir Gawaine, that ever I should endure to see this woeful day. So Sir Gawaine turned him and wept heartily. And so he went into his chamber, and then the queen was led forth without Carlisle, and there she was despoiled into her smock. And so then her ghostly father was brought to her to be shriven of her misdeeds. Then was there weeping and wailing and wringing of hands of many lords and ladies, but there were but few in comparison that would bear any armour for to strengthen the death of the queen. Then was there one that Sir Launcelot had sent unto that place for to espy what time the queen should go unto her death, and anon as he saw the queen despoiled into her smock and so shriven, then he gave Sir Launcelot warning. Then was there but spurring and plucking up of horses, and right so they came to the fire, and who that stood against them, there were they slain. There might none withstand Sir Launcelot, so all that bare arms and withstood them, there were they slain, full many a noble knight. For there was slain Sir Belliance le Ogulus, Sir Segwarides, Sir Griflet, Sir Brandiles, Sir Aglovale, Sir Tor, Sir Gauter, Sir Gillimer, Sir Reynolds, three brethren, Sir Damus, Sir Priamus, Sir Kay the stranger, Sir Driant, Sir Lambegus, Sir Hemindi, Sir Petelope, Sir Perimones, two brethren that were called the Green Knight and the Red Knight. And so in this rushing and hurling, as Sir Launcelot thrang here and there, it mishapped him to slay Gaheris and Sir Gareth, the noble knight, for they were unarmed and unware. For as the French book saith, Sir Launcelot smote Sir Gareth and Sir Gaheris upon the brainpans, wherethrough they were slain in the field, howbeit in very truth Sir Launcelot saw them not, and so were they found dead among the thickest of the press. Then when Sir Launcelot had thus done and slain and put to flight all that would withstand him, then he rode straight unto Dame Guenever, and made a kirtle and a gown to be cast upon her, and then he made her to be set behind him, and prayed her to be of good cheer. Wit ye well the queen was glad that she was escaped from the death. And then she thanked God and Sir Launcelot, and so he rode his way with the queen, as the French book saith, unto Joyous Gard, and there he kept her as a noble knight should do. And many great lords and some kings sent Sir Launcelot many good knights, and many noble knights drew unto Sir Launcelot. When this was known openly that King Arthur and Sir Launcelot were at debate, many knights were glad of their debate, and many were full heavy of their debate. Chapter 9. Of the sorrow and lamentation of King Arthur for the death of his nephews and other good knights, and also for the queen his wife. So turn we again unto King Arthur, that when it was told him how and in what manner of wise the queen was taken away from the fire, and when he heard of the death of his noble knights, and in especial of Sir Gaheris and Sir Gareth's death, then the king swooned for pure sorrow. And when he awoke of his swoon, then he said, Alas, that ever I bear crown upon my head, for now have I lost the fairest fellowship of noble knights that ever held Christian king together. Alas, my good knights be slain away from me. Now within these 2 days I have lost 40 knights, and also the noble fellowship of Sir Launcelot and his blood. For now I may never hold them together no more with my worship. Alas, that ever this war began. Now, fair fellows, said the king, I charge you that no man tell Sir Gawaine of the death of his 2 brethren. For I am sure, said the king, when Sir Gawaine heareth tell that Sir Gareth is dead, he will go nigh out of his mind. Mercy Jesu, said the king, why slew he Sir Gareth and Sir Gaheris? For I dare say, as for Sir Gareth, he loved Sir Launcelot above all men earthly. That is truth, said some knights, but they were slain in the hurtling, as Sir Launcelot thrang in the thick of the press. And as they were unarmed he smote them, and wist not whom that he smote, and so unhappily they were slain. The death of them, said Arthur, will cause the greatest mortal war that ever was. I am sure, wist Sir Gawaine that Sir Gareth was slain, I should never have rest of him till I had destroyed Sir Launcelot's kin and himself both, outher else he to destroy me. And therefore, said the king, wit you well my heart was never so heavy as it is now, and much more I am sorrier for my good knight's loss than for the loss of my fair queen, for queens I might have enough, but such a fellowship of good knights shall never be together in no company. And now I dare say, said King Arthur, there was never Christian king held such a fellowship together, and alas that ever Sir Launcelot and I should be at debate. Ah, Agravaine, Agravaine, said the king, Jesu forgive it thy soul, for thine evil will that thou and thy brother Sir Mordred hadst unto Sir Launcelot hath caused all this sorrow. And ever among these complaints the king wept and swooned. Then there came one unto Sir Gawaine, and told him how the queen was led away with Sir Launcelot, and nigh 24 knights slain. O Jesu, defend my brethren, said Sir Gawaine, for full well wist I that Sir Launcelot would rescue her, whether else he would die in that field. And to say the truth, he had not been a man of worship had he not rescued the queen that day, insomuch she should have been brent for his sake. And as in that, said Sir Gawaine, he hath done but knightly, and as I would have done myself, and I had stood in like case. But where are my brethren? said Sir Gawaine. I marvel I hear not of them. Truly, said that man, Sir Gareth and Sir Gaheris be slain. Jesu defend, said Sir Gawaine. For all the world I would not that they were slain, and in especial my good brother Sir Gareth. Sir, said the man, he is slain, and that is great pity. Who slew him? said Sir Gawaine. Sir, said the man, Launcelot slew them both. That may I not believe, said Sir Gawaine, that ever he slew my brother Sir Gareth, for I dare say my brother Gareth loved him better than me, and all his brethren, and the king both. Also I dare say, an Sir Launcelot had desired my brother Sir Gareth with him, he would have been with him against the king and us all, and therefore I may never believe that Sir Launcelot slew my brother. Sir, said this man, it is noised that he slew him. End of Book 20, chapters 6 to 9. Read by Nathan at antipodeanwriter.wordpress.com.